Hello and welcome to Home Sweet Halverson. I'm Jordan. That beautiful girl over there is Robin. And this is Home Sweet Halverson from the couch. I know we told you this year that we would be outside, but currently it is 42 degrees, which my Norwegian blood could handle. But I don't know if Robin wants to be out there right now.
Yeah, I don't. So here we are. We're in our living room and in our space here. We wanted to show you guys this year kind of the theme of where we shoot and where we are is we wanted to be comfortable. Like you were to come over to our house, what would we do? We would sit on the couch if it was cold outside, or if it was warm enough or nice weather, we'd go and be like, hey, let's hang out on the porch because it's our favorite place to be. So here you are, here in our living room with us, and we just want to have a really candid conversation today and talk about all the things. But we are just coming out of
Snowmageddon 2026.
Yeah, so what's your experience been?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be shorter. The ice, they said there was going to be a lot of like ice and then snow, freezing rain, but the ice has really laid down and stuck. And because it's been so cold and refreezing every night, I think we only got above freezing 4 days in. So the kids have been with us all day. We stocked up. And to all of you people that went into Kroger or Walmart and bought 4 months of LaCroix.
Come on, man.
No, I'm kidding. But there were so many supplies, not just bread, milk, and waters that were gone. Like there were pictures of entire shelves gone. Like nobody needs graham crackers for 3 months. Like
No.
I don't understand that. But we had enough supplies here. Thankfully, we're getting down to our last planned meal. It dropped down to like 7 degrees. And for Texas, that is freaking cold. I mean, I know you lived in Montana a little bit and I sound like a wuss, but
Yeah, no, a part of my childhood, I lived in Montana, northwest Montana, near Glacier, and Glacier National Park. That is, I feel like I need to say that out. But we would get feet upon feet of snow, like when it would snow, and it would stay wintry for 6 months out of the year. But the difference is that people are equipped with chains on their tires, studded tires. They have snow, like they're shoveling the snow all the time on the roads. They are icing or not icing, but salting and putting gravel and things like that on the roads to make it drivable. And we just don't have that as a society here in Texas because
it doesn't happen often enough.
It happens once a year, yeah. So we don't need to spend that money. Our local governments don't spend that money on those pieces of equipment because it's just not necessary. So when it does ice, if you're from the north and you're listening to us and you're like, what wusses? Oh my gosh. Like, yeah, if it does, it iced probably, I'd say a good 6 inches at least. Just a solid sheet of ice.
Not fun snow.
No.
Like sleet.
And then on top of that, it snowed. And so
Yeah.
it's incredibly dangerous. And then on top of it, Texans, if they're local, they don't know how to drive in it. And so, I mean, I barely know how to drive in it, right? So it's just not good. So we just hunker down, and it's been a wonderful time as a family just to be together. And I think everybody does have a little bit of cabin fever. The kids were asking, can we go outside today? So maybe we can go and get some sunshine. You can see the sunshine behind us.
Yeah, it's actually a beautiful day.
It looks really nice, yeah. But it's going to freeze again tonight. So who knows?
I don't think they're going to school. I don't think they're going to school this week.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if we get the texts and the alerts. But
yes, everyone's
Yeah.
looking forward to those. So
yeah, I am.
one more day.
Yeah.
We'll see. And I work from home, so this benefits me in no way at all. So that's okay. I'm on my lunch break and we're having fun. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And we're on our last planned meal tonight.
Uh-huh.
Meatballs. We made it to meatball night. So tomorrow I'm going to have to go out, even if it's like pizza, something.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do something.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be like old bananas and eggs. Which,
Ew, gosh.
Yeah, I think we have
We
more
gotta
than
find
that.
something.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
But today, we are going to be addressing self-care, and self-care specifically for caregivers of kids with special needs. And so a lot of times, I mean, I know all of our friends that are parents out there, you need that time to get away
Yeah.
just with kids that don't have any special needs also. Like, we understand that. But because it's such a physical duty or responsibility that we have, self-care, I feel like, is extremely important. And if it is neglected, could lead to some problems.
Yeah.
So that's what we kind of want to lead into, and the importance of self-care and what we actually do as a part of our self-care regimen. So when I say self-care, what is the first thing that comes to mind for you?
Well, are we talking about generic self-care, or are we talking about self-care as in my role as a caregiver?
Yeah, let's start at like a higher level, and then we can like funnel down and see what that exactly means for us.
Okay. So I feel like it's a word or a phrase that you hear that we roll our eyes at this point.
Yeah, you're right.
Because it's like, well, everybody thinks self-care, everybody has, I don't want to minimize this in any way, but everybody now that, the word anxiety is out there. It's like everybody has a level of anxiety and everybody needs to take care and everybody needs to baby themselves and all this stuff. I think that as people, though, I do think that it's really important for us to slow down a little bit and to acknowledge within ourselves what it is that we need, and to be able to communicate that to the people around us. And so I think sometimes, I live my life in sprints. I know that. I know that
Real life.
real life happening. This is the living room. I know that I can get through the next couple of really, really busy weeks because I have this thing lined up after that. And for me, that's self-care. Like if I'm going to have to, grind through these next couple of weeks and it's going to be a lot of work, then I'm going to have some type of reward at the end. And I think one thing that we do is a family, and I'm sorry, I'm probably skipping down to the more funneled approach. Okay. But one thing that Jordan and I do is that we have scheduled date nights every single week. And if you know us, you know that that's one of the only times, if you're a friend of ours, that's one of the only times that we can get together with anybody is during date nights, because we don't have, we are responsible for so much else in our regular life. And so date nights, it's every single week, and we go out and bless our respite care girl. She's amazing, and we love you so much. And you've been with us for a couple of years, or several years now at this point. But she's been so consistent to show up and to be here with us and to help to support our kids so that we can go. And I think that's the thing that you and I both look forward to at the end of a long week. Absolutely. And we're tired because we both work full time and we're taking care of kids and we're doing all the things. And then we come into a Friday or a Saturday night and we're like, oh yes, now we get to hang out and just be together for, if it's even just 3 hours, it makes such a huge difference. So.
Yeah. When I think of self-care, I think similar things. It's, a lot of times it's physical care, like working out could be part of the self-care regimen. Getting your hair cut, like little things that you took for granted before kids at all is like, oh, when am I going to get a haircut? Where are we going to put that on the calendar? Yeah. But I think you're right. There's a stigma around it. And then there's also the opposite end of the spectrum, is where people are dying as martyrs. They're not saying martyrs to stress and to responsibility. Sorry.
Like, yeah, I guess that is.
That was a really heavy lead into that. But I guess my point is people are like, I need self-care, I need to take care of me, and I can't really do anything for anybody else. But there's also the people that will basically kill themselves because they don't want to be perceived as selfish for doing anything for themselves. And I think it's unhealthy on both ends. Yep. And so finding that also, because I mean, as caregivers, we can also be like, well, I need to do this. I'm not a good parent. I'm not being a good dad right now because I need to do this. And realizing you've already done so much today, and be like, okay, it's okay that everything was not perfect today, or I can get to that tomorrow, or I can always go back to my kids and I can apologize and say, hey, we can do that better tomorrow or next week. And so I think I have a similar definition of self-care. I mean, not getting my nails done or my hair highlighted. I mean, unless it was, getting my tips frosted in 1999. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of what I look at all the time as our biggest self-care that we do, is us leaving on one of the nights in the weekend and just having that time together, because it is so impactful. And there's multiple layers to it too. It's good for us as individual people. It's good for our marriage. It's also good for our kids to learn to be dependent on other people to be able to build trust with other people also.
Yeah.
So it's all around. It's a really good thing.
Yeah. As you're talking, I'm thinking about just also how automated our life is. I think that's a form of self-care.
And self-preservation.
And self-preservation, right. We have, I don't think I'm sure we've shared in the podcast about the fact that we have nurses that come in and they've been a part of our lives for nearly a decade.
Yeah.
So we love you both so very much.
B and H.
Yes.
H and B?
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Does all of this sound weird?
H-E-B?
H-E-B.
H and B.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that actually works.
Oh my gosh, there it is.
That's
weird.
Sorry.
They come in every morning consistently, and we have a routine where we send out a morning text, and that's been for like the entire time that we've had nursing, which has been about a decade.
Life-saving.
It's been, well, that's just a part of our routine. And like they know when they come in that this is what we do, and this is how we do, and this is what Mondays are, and this is what Thursdays are, and this is, and it just becomes this well-oiled machine. And I know that I couldn't work full-time if we did not have that in place.
Oh, no. And more importantly, the trust that we have in them.
Right.
That I know the door's opening at this time. Oh, that's so-and-so.
Yeah.
That's H. Oh, that's B.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like, it's automatically in my mind. I know what their footsteps sound like. Like, to have a trusted caregiver beside yourself it's actually one of the miracles in our life.
It really is.
To have them so consistently with us
Yeah.
and to have that trust and that they love the girls and they take care of them like their own. And it's really a precious thing.
Yeah. So I think that's one thing. And we're super routined. I think to the chagrin of some of the people in our lives that, like our family.
It's to their chagrin?
Chagrin. I don't know. It's a very, very proper word. But I think...
it's a very proper word.
But I think that our some people in our lives might be like, gosh, like they plan out everything.
Yeah.
But we have to plan out everything because it just helps our life to flow better. And we plan out when we do our groceries, and we know, like Jordan was referring to, the planned meals for the snow.
I just realized.
We have.
It's our normal.
It's our norm. Yeah, it's a part of what we do. And I think a lot of families just operate like that, special needs or not. But for us, that is one of the ways that I think that is a level of self-care. So we know that we have predictability. So we have things that are automated in our life. We have things that are predictable, that our kids can rely on, that we can rely on, that we know this is the way that the week's gonna play out. And then if there's really anything outside of that, we try to communicate really clearly with the girls and our son and each other too. And we have, one thing we do as a couple is we have our weekly touchdowns. And I think that we could do better with that, where we order groceries, we talk about the week, we talk about the plan.
We compare calendars.
We do, and we
have
love
paper calendars.
Yes.
Like, I did not do this until like 3 years ago, and I mean, it's next to the Bible, the most important book in my life. It sits on my desk, and I look, and because I was always like, we're going into the digital age, but I have my erasable pen, and
which is a lifesaver.
Yes.
Lori Wright, one of my teaching friends, shared that with me at one.
So we're giving names away now.
I guess we
are. For
are.
erasable pens, we're gonna give away
well,
names.
It's not anything too personal.
No, you're right. But you're right. It's having that touchdown where we compare our books. We have that moment. That's not date night. That's not playing and having fun. That is like, hey, we are getting on the same page for the week.
Yeah.
I love that.
So how do we separate date night from that? Because a lot of people go on date nights and
do the stuff. Yeah, I think we don't take our calendars with us. So that's the first thing. And I think a lot of times on Friday nights or Saturday nights or Sunday nights, whenever we go out, we're focused on, like, I don't want to use a prophetic term, which we'll get to later in this episode. We're casting vision, or we are, I think we're dreaming.
Yeah.
Like, what would you have in our home in Colorado? What would that look like? Or where would you like to go in 2 summers from now? Because we have, again, we're constantly planning
Yeah.
and getting it on the calendar. So I think Friday's more of fun and planning and flirting and just having fun. And then Saturday morning is like, okay, Robin's got her 4th cup of coffee and not jittering somehow, and I'm on my 1st and only. And we're sitting there and we're talking like, okay, what do we got to do today? What do we have tomorrow? What do we have Wednesday and Thursday? Like we're talking about all that. So I think those are the 2 things. It's not work. It's work, but it's fun. It's like we're getting, and I think that's the thing is we both love planning, and that really helps. And it's like, okay, and we both want to know what's coming up too. We don't want to be surprised. Oh, we have this doctor appointment. I didn't know we had that. Like that's on the calendar for months usually. So that's really good.
Yeah. So what else? I think you had a couple of notes written down. What else did you write down?
Well, we had talked about doing some more stuff like solo nights. And I know there's some couples out there that we hang out and that we love and some other acquaintances I've talked to, even at work, where it's like, yeah, my wife watches the kids on Thursday and I go out and I go to, Texas Roadhouse and I go to Academy or whatever. And that's just me getting out and getting away. And we've talked about doing that. Like, you love to go see movies. And so it's like, I'm going to go see a movie and get Fuzzy's Tacos or something, which is better than it sounds if you're not from this area. Fuzzy's Tacos. But anyways, that's one of the things we had talked about maybe initiating. And that's not something we can do on a weekly basis, but that's like maybe a monthly thing. So that's one of the things that we had talked about for 2026.
Yeah. Sorry, you're boring me.
I guess.
Like the solo nights.
My apologies. And the other thing that I was thinking about, I recently had a birthday where I turned 40 years old, and I'm aging like a fine wine.
That's right, baby.
Like a wine on the middle rack at Walmart, and anyways, or at Total Wine. But anyways, is on my birthday. She does all of the transfers, all of the treatments, all of that stuff. We clean the house on Saturdays typically. She was like, I'll clean the house. So no mopping and sweeping for me on this past Saturday. It was fantastic. I loved it. And so that's something that really, really, I think blesses more than any gift that you could give me or even time away. Doing that so I can just be home and rest and not have any responsibilities is huge.
Yeah, I don't think that either one of us really traditionally our love language is acts of service. Yeah. But it has shown up more since having kids, period, but then also since having the diagnosis and everything with SMA, acts of service.
It's up there at the top with me.
It is one of the top. Yeah. It's like, if you will take some of the burden, like some of the physical burden off of my shoulder with everything, I mean, even the past 5 days, like it's just been us. And so there's been a lot. And there's one, even today, there was a moment I was like, hey, can you do that for me? You're like, yeah, I got it. No problem, And that just speaks so much of love to the other person. So I think
that's huge.
And I think, that goes back to me talking about self-care as a caregiver. I think you have to voice what your capacity is. There are some, most days, obviously, you can't just be like, oh, I don't want to. Like, we don't get that option. No. So I think being like, hey, and I've heard people talk about this before in married couples with energy levels. We're like I'm coming in today at like 20%. Oh, good. Well, I'm at 80%, or we're both at 20%, or whatever. Like learning where you are with your energy level and where you're tolerant, because that speaks to your tolerance. That speaks to your ability to sit and chat, or if you have something that you want to talk to me about or bring up a discussion about, like maybe when I'm at 20%, it's probably not the best time, You're like right. Just understanding that. And I think, for a lot of parents, but then specifically a lot of caregiver parents, we don't consider where we are. We just do. And you just truck away and you truck and you truck and you truck and you don't take care. I think another big thing is that we both have, last year was your year to kind of take care of some of the medical things that we knew were surfacing.
I was in the shop a lot.
Yeah. And this year you're going to give me an opportunity to kind of take care of some of the little things that I have going on. And I think just as we age,
and we're in 40-something.
in 40 something, I think that that's really important to talk for each other, to be like, hey, okay, we're going to invest financially, we're going to invest time, recovery, all this stuff.
Oh yeah, I was out for 2 weeks on 2 occasions where she had to do all transfers this past year.
That was a lot.
It's huge. Yeah, but I could not have done that without you.
Yeah, right.
It was amazing, and I'm happy to do that when it's your turn to get taken care of.
Yeah.
So my question to kind of wrap up this conversation is, if you had some friends sitting across from you, what would 2 pieces of advice you'd give them to get back on track for self-preservation? If they've kind of fallen off, or they're feeling exhausted, tired.
If they're caregiver parents?
Yeah, caregiver parents.
I think I would say, and are they married? Caregiver parents that are married?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say communicate, like have a weekly touchdown session. I think that that's so important, and just communicate.
100%.
Communicate what the other person, like where your capacity is, and maybe what the other person can do to help you, to support you. And I think that's really, really important. I think we could do more of that, you and I. And then I think date nights are so vital. If you can build that into
If you can
your
pull
schedule.
it off. Yeah. If you have somebody, even if it's during the day, if that's when you have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
What about you?
You stole my first one, is communicating first.
Yeah.
First and foremost is having the conversation, you know, how can I help you this week? Or, and like Robin said, this is stuff that we're learning on the fly too, 10 years into this, 11 years into this.
Yeah.
You know, having that line of communication and it being okay. Hey, I'm really tired, or my back is hurting. Can you help me with this? And having that line of communication rather than, I don't know if I can ask them about this, you know, because there are weeks where her job is more physically demanding anyway, but there are weeks where it's really physically demanding. And she will just come and say, hey, can you do transfers tonight? I'm absolutely out. Or can you do the final tuck in tonight? And it's like, and I'm not like, yes, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can do it. I can do it. And then, gosh, I'm struggling to get away from the other one that you said, is that once a week, that getaway, even if it has to be a solo getaway, like have some time to go for a walk at least. I think it could start really small, but hey, I need an hour to go to the local park for a hike or something like that. Something that's not a errand or a chore, I think. And we have to decipher sometimes, is a haircut more of a chore and an errand than self-care? Yes. And that's something I've had to learn over the years. She's like, I'm going to go get a haircut. And I'm like, oh, well, that sounds like fun, right? Because she's gone until the kids are going to bed. But it's like, she'd much rather be in a movie or something like that. Yeah. So no offense to her hairdresser if she's watching. Right. But it's not life-giving in the sense that it's a restful experience.
Yeah, and I want to tag one more thing. I think this is the thing that you and I are working on, because I think there was 10 years of just scatter and survival, and oh my gosh, our whole life is turned upside down, and what are we doing? Like, your whole life is turned upside down anyway with kids. And then you bring in the special component, and there's so much that changes. And so I think realizing we've got to take care of our physical bodies, because we do so much physically with lifting and things like that. And I think prioritizing nutrition, prioritizing exercise, prioritizing that for each other, medical needs and things like that. And just recognizing it and looking it in the eye. I think one of the big things that caregivers do, and people just in general, but I think caregivers do, is that they will overlook, physical things that are happening, or little like nagging issues, and then just push it back. You push it back because you got other needs that are more important in the family, and it's like, well, no, you have to address it, and you have to look it in the eye, and that's like.
Putting your oxygen mask on before helping the other people in the plane.
That's right.
If you can't lift or transfer or take care of other needs, then you're actually hurting them too.
That, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining us from our blue-gray couch here this week.
We laughed this entire time. This sweater is massive, and that's one of the things I love. But we've been laughing about these comfortable positions because we feel like it just kind of squishes us down. So we're gonna try to maintain our less trollish physique.
Absolutely, yes. And hopefully we'll be thawed out by Thursday. I don't know. Apparently there could be another storm coming through or something.
What?
I don't know. It could be just
Jeez.
Facebook chatter. But anyways, we will see you guys in February. We love you.